Here's hoping that this is the last episode we spend staring at a wall and holding left click. In the coming episodes, we might be staring at a wall and holding right click instead. Probably be tapping right click, but still, you know, same difference. It was very interesting seeing people's reactions to the last episode that was like this. Because it wasn't really a whole lot of content. Like, I wasn't really doing anything interesting. I was just talking about random nonsense while holding left click at some dirt for like 30 minutes straight. And yet somehow it's still the most popular video I've made all year. It's like the 10th most popular video I've ever made in my entire YouTube career, which is crazy to me because it's literally just me talking about nonsense while holding left click at some dirt for like half an hour straight. And it's just like, is this what you want? Is this the entertainment you have come to my channel for? I suppose it is. Oh, finally, instant mine cobblestone. Yes. It was very interesting. It's got to be like the title, because the average view duration was still very short. I have a problem with average view duration. It's like 2 minutes. The only people who actually watch my videos in full are my friends. So I don't really know. I don't really know what I'm missing compared to everyone else, but people don't seem to be interested in sticking around for very long. I don't really care. I'm not here to be popular. I'm not here to be a 100,000 subscriber YouTube channel. I mean, I definitely wouldn't say no to that. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. But I'm not trying to build a fan base. That's basically my point. I think it really comes back to what I want my channel to be, because I've been doing longer content than most people, I think, for a while. I've been regularly doing 30-minute videos. Sometimes they push 45, and I've been intentionally doing that. It's not that I play for too long and have trouble cutting it down. I mean, that is a problem that I have, but I've been deliberately trying to put out half-hour content because I wanted my videos to be something that you could just put on in the background and listen to. It's also the reason that I think I'm going to be moving away from the more action games in the coming like months and stuff. And I'm not really gonna, let's just say I'm not gonna do anything like Severed Steel again. That'll probably be the last action game I ever play on this channel. I might play some more games I'm more confident in my abilities in. The thing I really love doing with YouTube videos these days, because I have a lot of other stuff that I'd like to be focusing my attention on, I'd love to just put them on in the background and listen to them. And sometimes I'll like glance over and look at them, you know. Sometimes I'll focus more on them, but like I like stuff that I don't have to watch. I can listen to it. I can watch it if I want, but I don't have to. It's listenable content. So, like, there are some guys who are, like, really heavy on like, the visual edits, and they play games that if you don't, like, pay attention to them constantly, you'll lose the plot, or won't understand what's happening. So I try to, and I'm trying harder now that I kind of discovered my niche. I'm trying to be more relaxed and not. I've never done any flashy editing stuff because I don't know how. I'm still learning my editing software. I just learned how to do transitions like literally yesterday, I think, or 2 days ago. I learned how to do transitions in my program. So like stuff like this. So yeah, I learned how to do that. And obviously I'm not going to be doing that much because it doesn't really fit my style. And also, these are cheesy stock transitions. I'm not gonna be using those. Ow! Get out of here! Shoot! I need to make another Mega Torch. I think I need to do that right now. Now, hopefully, enemies won't spawn around here. All right. So now the big question of the episode is, what material am I going to use to build this out of? Because I don't want to use stone bricks. I feel like that's a bit too basic. I also kind of don't want to use quartz, but I also want it to be something that can be gathered in large quantities. So I also don't want to build it out of like warped planks or warped logs. I don't want to have to mine hundreds of thousands of. Can this turn into bricks? I have a stone cutter, don't I? What do these variations look like? Do I have a stone cutter? I actually don't think I have a stone cutter. So we've got cut veridium bricks, and layered veridium. Well, layered veridium and cut veridium look almost exactly the same, but the cut veridium bricks actually do look interesting. I think I'll do that. Well, if I can't find it, that puts a real damper on my plans, and also, it's like I said, there's probably not going to be enough in one deposit anyway, so I'm going to have to go mining around more. So we'll call this Plan B. If we can't find anything better. I don't want to make it out of planks, I want it to be some kind of rock. I guess I could make it out of, like, granite and stuff. Can I do granite bricks? I have granite in the system already. Can I do granite bricks? Yeah, I can, actually. I can do tons of granite stuff. Okay. I bet I can do the same stuff with diorite, though. I think I want to use diorite. So yeah, I think I'm going to use the cut diorite bricks and the diorite pillars. Okay. But that means we need a metric megaton of diorite. Because if you haven't noticed, we only have about 100 diorite. We used more cobblestone than that to create the frame, and the actual... Oh man, I can't unpolish it. Can't do anything with this. Can't do anything with this. There we go, okay. And then we can just shove these three and all these back in. Yeah, we have approximately 96 diorite plus these 5, which is 101 diorite. So, okay, we need way more diorite. We need, actually, I'm gonna move the stone cutter. We need way more diorite. We need just an unholy amount of diorite. We're probably gonna need about, geez, I'm just gonna peg the number right now, 3,000. We're gonna need at least 3,000 blocks to create this. There's a big pocket of diorite there. I can't actually go through the elevator. Okay, is there any diorite around the land? There is. Okay. That is a very large amount. I'll always remember my early days of getting into like Minecraft culture. I mean, culture's a strong word. It's really more of a fandom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. But like, I will always remember the 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 olden days. People don't really do it anymore. I feel like even if the resurgence of Minecraft's popularity, people don't really make content in the same ways as before. Because like in the olden days, you had like Minecraft parodies of songs coming out like every other week from the most random of channels. Some of them were objectively garbage. Just like, oh my god, why did you think that this was a good choice of song, of lyrics, of presentation? Some of them were, and these unfortunately are the ones people love to rag on the most, or loved, I suppose, past tense, people don't really do it anymore. The ones that were just made by amateurs who, you know, it's good for what they are. And sure, the mic quality might suck, and it might be really kind of painful to listen to because of that, but it's you know, it's not bad. It's just like there's a distinct difference between that and then the actually bad ones that like aren't even trying to be Minecraft or be the song they used to be, and it's just trying to make a parody, and it doesn't work at all, and then, you know, there's a distinct difference between those, and I feel like the wrong ones were getting the bad rap. I'll have to fill in this whole area later. For now, I'm just spreading it out. I don't know how much further I'll go out, honestly. Oh, I'm out of dirt. Okay. Well. Then it wasn't just the parodies, obviously. The song parodies were a big thing. It's how some YouTubers even like got their start, I think, making Minecraft song parodies, which is very interesting. It's a thing I don't feel like we see a lot anymore. Nobody really makes song parodies. I mean, there are dedicated music channels that occasionally do like covers of songs, and sometimes they do remixes. There's this whole channel that makes original songs about video games. And you know, that's all cool and all, but you don't really see like parodies coming up much in YouTube anymore. I think the music industry might have like caught on and is pressing down on like parodies and trying to copyright claim it and stuff. Okay, so we've done the outer rim. That's one layer. We have 12 more layers to go, and then the roof. So now we do this. That's not just the parodies you had. You also had like the machinima content, and that, especially the machinima content, or like the skits. If you're not familiar with the term machinima, basically it's just like a skit made in a game. Very high quality stuff. The channel machinima, which was the origin of the term, I'm pretty sure. They put a lot of work into that stuff, and then, you know, it kind of became a genre of YouTube entertainment. You use a game to tell a story. But like some of the stuff was like really interesting because Minecraft as a whole was attracting a lot of I can't think of a nice way to put this. It was attracting a younger audience. And you know, young audiences aren't experienced with creative tools, and they aren't really they don't have something they've never obtained. I've never publicly stated this, but I've always had the opinion that criticizing someone for being new at something is just like the wrong thing to do. It's not really the wrong thing to do. Obviously, like, giving feedback is important, but telling someone that something they made sucks when it's literally the first time they've ever made something in that medium is just like unhelpful, and it's also like obviously, yeah, no duh, I've literally never done this before. Of course it sucks. Why are you telling me? You're wasting your time. And so yeah, the older Minecraft machinima content, some of it was like really weird. I remember watching a couple channels who primarily did that, and it was interesting enough to hold my attention at the time because I was also younger and I didn't really have as high a standard of quality as I do today, quote unquote quality. Nowadays I mostly just listen to music on YouTube. That's a different and much sadder story all in itself. But yeah. All that Minecraft content, it was the origin of my interest in YouTube, I think, was Minecraft content. And one of those common things you'd notice across a lot of the content was the stereotype of the Minecraft noob. Also, I think I can just remove these barriers now. Also, I'm out of diorite bricks. So yeah, we built about 1/5 of the structure with all that, generously. But yeah, the stereotype of the Minecraft noob as a drooling idiot who built houses out of dirt and tried to mine diamonds with like TNT blocks. I remember there was a specific skit that's like noob discovers TNT for the first time, and he tries to do literally everything with the TNT because he doesn't know what it does, and then he just blows himself up at the end of the skit because, you know, that's what TNT does. It blows people up, blows stuff up. Yeah, that was always a little funny at the time because I knew about Minecraft, but the thing is, it never really occurred to me until several years later that it was an unfair stereotype. Because it was true, honestly, it was true. If anything, Markiplier playing the game, playing Minecraft, and trying to mine diamonds with a stone pickaxe is proof of that it's an unfair stereotype. Because Markiplier is not an objectively dumb person. That's just like, he might be a little chaotic, and he might not notice things that are put directly in front of his face, but he is not a stupid person. He is a very smart, very clever person, and even he made that mistake, and it really got me thinking, seeing that moment, because it felt so obvious to me, because I've literally been playing Minecraft for years, and it got me to realize that there's literally no tutorial in Minecraft. Well, not literally no tutorial. There is objectively a tutorial in Minecraft. It tells you how to walk, how to punch a tree, and how to open your inventory. And that's all it tells you. It doesn't tell you any of the nuances. It doesn't tell you that some ores aren't mineable with certain tiers of pickaxes. It doesn't tell you how things are better than others. Like, obviously an iron pickaxe is going to be better than a stone one. It's got more durability. You can see it mines faster. It does a little more damage. Not that anyone really cares about that element, but like, nobody tells you about mining tier requirements. Nobody will tell you, nothing in the game will tell you that you need an iron pickaxe to mine diamonds. So you're going along and you're mining, and you've got a precedent set up that you need a pickaxe to mine ores and stone, because if you try and mine it with your hands or another tool, it doesn't drop the item. And that's something you find out early. So you need a pickaxe. You've established that you need a pickaxe. But then you come across coal, and coal is mineable with a stone pickaxe. And then you come across iron, and iron is mineable with a stone pickaxe. And you come across are emeralds also mineable with a stone pickaxe? I don't. There's like one more ore that's mineable with a stone pickaxe. It's not lapis. I'm pretty sure lapis takes iron. But you come across all these ores and all this stone, and all of it's mineable with a stone pickaxe. And then you find iron, and you find iron relatively quickly because iron is very common. And you mine it with your stone pickaxe, and it drops the item. And then you smelt yourself up some iron, and you make an iron pickaxe immediately. And it never occurs to you that this iron pickaxe can mine blocks that the stone pickaxe never could. Because you've never tried, it's highly likely at this point that you've never even seen gold, or you've never even tried to mine gold. You've especially never seen diamonds, because diamonds are very rare, and it's highly unlikely that you find diamonds before you find iron. So you've got this precedent set that you just need a pickaxe to mine ores and stone. And that's all you've been told, that's all you've been taught, and that's if you've tried mining without a pickaxe. And even then, you've got common sense on your side saying you kind of need a pickaxe to mine stone successfully. And then you find diamonds, and you mine them with your iron pickaxe, and they drop diamonds. And it never occurs to you that it's because your pickaxe is iron now. So you come back to diamonds later with a stone pickaxe because you've run out of iron, and you're saving your iron for other things like armor and tools, or other tools specifically, not pickaxes, because you blow through iron pickaxes really quickly. Like, even I barely make iron pickaxes, unless I have like an abundance of iron, because it's highly unlikely that an iron pickaxe will actually make itself back unless you're caving. And that's another thing I don't like about Minecraft's tool durability, is that it's not really well balanced, but that's a different topic. I've already spent like 15 minutes ranting about tool durability when I was playing Raft, so I won't bore you with that again here, but like, you've never gotten the precedent that you need an iron pickaxe for certain ores. Because by the time you've gotten to the ores that need an iron pickaxe, and those are the ones that are deeper underground, they're rarer, you've gotten an iron pickaxe already. So when you eventually come back to those ores with a stone pickaxe and you mine them and they don't drop anything, you don't know what the hell happened. You think maybe it's a bug, maybe maybe something went wrong, because why would you think that you need a specific tier of pickaxe to mine ores when it allows you to mine the ores in the first place, and you've never been given this precedent? Because like no other block in the game works like that. You don't need a specific tier of shovel to mine podzol. You don't need a specific tier of axe to mine dark oak. You don't need a specific tier of hoe to till dirt or plant certain crops in. No other block in the game works like this. So you've come across this new scenario and it's not explained to you. And other games, other survival games in the genre do it differently. In Terraria, for example, if you can't get anything from the ore drop because your pickaxe isn't good enough, it straight up won't let you mine the block. You can't even destroy it. You have to either blow it up with TNT or you just dig around it, because it will not even let you mine the block. Also, where the hell is the exit? I'm lost. Minecraft doesn't have that safety net. Minecraft doesn't have that restriction. In Minecraft, if you hold left click on it for long enough, why is all the smoke down here red now? Weird. Must be a biome thing. Anyway, you've got no precedent for that even in other games, because other games will stop you if your pickaxe isn't good enough. But Minecraft doesn't do that. So the stereotype of the Minecraft noob mining diamonds with a stone pickaxe and then not understanding what happened is an unfair stereotype, because it's meant to poke fun at their intelligence, like, oh haha, they're so stupid they don't realize what's going on. But they've never been told what's going on. One of the things I always say is you don't know things that you're never told. And that's one of the most frustrating things to me, when people make fun of someone for not knowing something they've never been told. And that's also one of the main reasons I don't like make fun of people for not knowing something obvious, because it's never obvious. It's only obvious because you already know it. Like the solution to a puzzle, it's never obvious unless you already know it, or the puzzle is easy. But that's a different thing. So making fun of someone for making a mistake, basically, for not knowing what is never told, it's unfair to me. And obviously it doesn't really matter much, because that stereotype was over-exaggerated in a whole lot of other ways. I mean, some of them were accurate, like the whole dirt house thing. My first house was dirt, because I didn't really consider making it out of wood. I just made it out of the most common block I had, and that was dirt. And I made a 3-story dirt mansion. Really more of a 3-story dirt apartment, but, you know, details. But I made a 3-story dirt house. I didn't even consider using wood planks. And other stuff about the stereotype is all really, it's just mocking a person's inability to know something they've never been told. And obviously there's a wiki that you could look up, but expecting someone to go to the wiki before they've even engaged with the game for any meaningful amount of time is kind of rude, honestly. And it's also kind of admitting that your game is impenetrable. Because or not really impenetrable, but unintuitive. Because if you can't figure out a lot of the mechanics by just playing the game, then it's not really a well-designed game. Because even though like having to hold someone's hand and give them a tutorial through everything is not fun to a lot of people, and also it's something that a lot of games are moving away from, if you can't figure it out on your own, it's still, you need a tutorial to teach these things. Because if you don't allow players to, if you don't give players a tutorial, but you also don't have an intuitive system that can be figured out on a player's own, then you're just gonna like have players bounce off your system and your game because, well, like, you know, they can't figure out how it works. They don't know how they're supposed to do this stuff. They were never told, and they can't figure it out because it's very incomprehensible. Like I tried to play God, what was it called? Station Engineers or something? Stationeers, something like that once. I bought it, I played for like 2 hours, and I couldn't even figure out how to set up a basic airlock. Because that game was absurdly complex. Like, I had a creative world, and I was trying to build an airlock, and I could not figure out how to do it. I could not figure out how to wire everything up, how to set everything up, and it was really, really annoying to try and do, because the tutorial teaches you how to replace a wire and how to press a button to open a door. And that's basically it. It doesn't tell you that there are 5 different tools and each one is for a different thing. Because like you need like the wrench to place frames, but then in order to put a a panel on that frame to actually make it a wall, you need a completely different tool. And then to break it down, you need a third tool. And then like I just couldn't figure out that game, so I refunded it because I couldn't figure it out. And the game didn't teach me properly. And maybe that's just like me, which is still a valid criticism. Like why am I making flames? Is that just me? I don't know. But like trying to figure that game out was miserable, and I never played it again. Honestly, I refunded it, never played it again. But like, if Minecraft doesn't teach you the things, Minecraft at least has a lot of intuitive stuff on its side. Like, obviously, from common sense that you use axes to mine wood. You know that you use pickaxes to mine stone and shovels to mine dirt. For the longest time, Minecraft didn't have the recipe book here, and that was the main barrier for entry for a lot of people because they couldn't figure out any of the recipes. I remember having to basically I learned all of my crafting recipes from watching YouTube videos of people crafting stuff. Like, even some big Minecraft YouTubers didn't know how to craft things like shields because they never crafted shields because they were always playing on servers and stuff. And you don't craft shields, you buy them because that's how the servers worked. Because a lot of servers have heavy restrictions on what you can and can't craft in their survival modes. And sometimes you can't craft shields, and sometimes you don't need to craft shields because you just buy shields. And they finally added the recipe book, which is great. It was a godsend for everyone because there were some recipes that I had to look up every time I wanted to craft them because I couldn't remember them. Like the recipe for a redstone lamp. I bet you can't tell me that off the top of your head because it's very complicated. It's like 4 quartz and like 2 glowstone dust and like a redstone dust or something, and there's glass involved, I think. But I couldn't tell you the recipe for a redstone lamp unless I looked it up. So I had to look it up every time. And daylight sensors were another one. I used daylight sensors pretty frequently because I was tinkering with redstone and I liked using daylight sensors. And it's like quartz and planks, and I'd never remembered what combination it was supposed to go in. So I spent a lot of time on the Minecraft wiki looking stuff up, and because of that, I know a lot of stuff about Minecraft that even certain other players that play a lot of Minecraft don't. Like, for example, did you know that splash potions of harming completely ignore your armor? Yeah, it's considered magic damage, and any source of magic damage completely bypasses your armor. But also, I know things like the fact that armor is less valuable the stronger the hit you're taking. It blocks less damage the stronger the hit you're taking. And I know things like uh, if you can put a what was the trick? There's like some weird trick that you can do to like I think it was I don't remember what it was about, but there was some weird obscure trick that I actually found once. I think it was like if you put a solid block over a block of water, then it won't freeze even if it's in a cold climate. I also learned that ice won't turn into a water source block if there's no block beneath it when you break it. Which is another thing I feel a lot of people don't know because they don't really interact with ice much. They don't really do that. They don't put ice in the air and then break it. Mostly because it's impossible to obtain ice without a silk touch pickaxe, which is itself is very difficult to obtain. But anyway, I spent a lot of time on the wiki, and I feel like a lot of other people who played a lot of Minecraft also spent a lot of time on the wiki, and because of that, they know a lot of things that a lot of people don't. And they assume that this is common knowledge because they just looked it up on the wiki. But expecting people to spend a lot of time looking at random stuff on the wiki is like it's wrong. Because if you're expecting people to look at the wiki, you're admitting that your game is not intuitive enough to fully understand. And obviously obscure mechanics like ice not turning into a water source block if there's no block beneath it is different, and you can't, not only can you not really make that intuitive, I guess you could like change the texture of ice when there's no block beneath it, but even that would be like how you'd have a moment of confusion of like how that's happening and why and what the difference between two scenarios is. But it's not really important to the player to understand fully, because again, you're not really interacting with ice that much in that way. But for basic stuff like how to craft things and how to mine diamond ore successfully, if you have to go to the wiki to understand that, then your game is not intuitive enough to be playable for the average person. Now, obviously, my mantra when it comes to tutorials is you can treat people as stupid as you want, but you'll still miss a few, and you can only treat people so stupid before the ones who aren't get offended, which is I found that to be pretty accurate, because, like, especially when, oh man, I'm out of diorite again. We're almost done with the staircase, though. When it comes to stuff, especially for like Deep Rock Galactic as an example, the tutorial there teaches you everything you really need to know. It teaches you how to you've got a grasp for moving around already. It teaches you what the enemies are, and what the ore looks like, and how to find it. And also, it kind of sort of teaches you how to go through the caves properly. But a lot of people still miss it. Because even if you handhold them and walk them through everything, they'll still probably not understand. And that comes less from people's like not being able to understand instructions that are given to them, and more of like if the guy is blabbering at you for like 10 minutes straight in giant text boxes containing tons of information, you're not going to register it all. You're not going to process it all because it's coming at you too fast. You're not interacting with any of it. And also it's, oh my god, this is so boring, please can I skip this? And you stop paying attention because you just zone out because you're bored out of your mind because Mission Control guy won't stop talking. And that's one of the big disadvantages of major tutorials, and it's why you miss people even if you treat them really stupid, because the ones who aren't stupid who will start to zone out and not get it, and then they'll be the ones who don't understand. But also, when that happens, they tend to get offended, because like, why are you teaching me how to shoot an enemy? I know that you hold left click to shoot. I've played video games before, and not everyone's played video games before, but you can't really expect this is a really small diorite deposit. You can't really expect to have an audience majorly comprised of people who haven't really played many video games before, unless you're specifically going for that target audience, in which case a big tutorial is necessary. But like for games like Deep Rock Galactic, where you're expected to have some modicum of familiarity with the genre at least. Jeez, okay. So much water. I don't want to mine in water. Mining in water is dumb. You're not really expected to need to be taught things like how to shoot and how to walk and stuff. So it really just teaches you the basics of how to get into the game, and then it lets you figure it all out for yourself. And I think that's a good thing to allow players to do. But also, I think having optional, like, tutorials that go more in-depth on certain mechanics is interesting. Like, one of the things that got me interested about Honkai Star Rail, I think it was, one of the big games that did it, but there were also like tons of other games that do this too, where basically they give you the tutorial that's like, here's how the combat system does a thing, like here's how you use an attack, here's how you use a skill, here's when you can use a skill, here's what happens when the enemy does a thing, and here's when the enemy does a thing, and it teaches you the core mechanics, and then it lets you figure everything out for yourself. But if you want to, you can play like training missions, and the training missions will be like, here's how armor works, and here's how buffs work, and this is how priority attacks work, and stuff like that. And you know, here's some of them even go like super in depth, and like, here's how you can use strategy to interrupt an enemy's attack by using your ultimate at the right time, or here's how you can boost your damage by timing all these moves right. One of the Gacha RPGs I've recently gotten back into playing has like an entire massive subset. They call them venture quests, and basically it's like 60 plus quests and adventures that are all based around a certain mechanic. And some of them are simple, like, here are enemies with low health but really high armor, so you want to use damage that you want to use true damage, which ignores armor, to kill them quickly. And here's enemies that will retaliate if they are attacked, so you want to use strong attacks to kill them in one hit, so they don't retaliate as often. And here's enemies that attack every turn, so you want to use a guy who can like deflect attacks, or you want to use damage reduction to get the most out of get the most out of damage reduction to reduce their attacks by a lot, and like here's an enemy that literally can't hit you if you have one stack of evasion, so use evasion to avoid them. And then some of them even go like even more in depth, like they give you just a straight up a preset selection of characters of a preset level, and if you have to use abilities in the correct order, otherwise you fail. And basically it's like really interesting because one of them was like you had to figure out the correct order of applying weakness to an enemy who was attacking its own allies to keep those allies alive long enough for the or not to keep the other enemies alive long enough for those retaliation attacks to weaken the main enemy enough that you could kill it before it killed you. And those were really interesting because they let you in on some more interesting strategy and mechanics of the game without forcing it down your throat. And obviously, even the simple stuff like here's how this passive could help you, and here's how this buff works, and here's a cool thing you could do with this synergy. Even that is cool, but forcing it down the player's throat and over tutorializing in general is really annoying to the people who want to figure it out on their own, and that's a valid thing to do. But if you're going to leave people to figure it out on their own, a lot of other people don't really like that. And I feel like that's a real shame because it's pushing people back to over tutorialization. And that's always going to be annoying for the veterans of the genre who don't need to be told how to jump. It's obviously going to be something like if you have an optional tutorial, a lot of people are going to skip it. And one of the most annoying things I have is when people skip the tutorial and then complain they don't know how to play the game. Like, no duh, you skipped the tutorial. The tutorial is there because the game isn't intuitive enough to immediately grasp. And, you know, maybe that's not a good thing. Maybe the tutorial, using it as a crutch, is not a good thing. But it's still there, and if you're having trouble, instead of complaining, you should look at the tutorial. At some point, you gotta accept that there are mechanics in your game that are important enough that people need to know about them, otherwise their enjoyment will suffer. And ore hardness and pickaxe tiers are one of those mechanics, because diamonds are really rare, if you haven't noticed. Diamonds are really hard to get in vanilla Minecraft. The only reason I have 40 diamonds is because I looted all 40 of them from the big tower. I have not mined a single... I think I have mined a few diamonds. I've mined like 3 diamonds in my entire time playing this. I've looted everything else from modded chests. And if a new player is not going to find diamonds very often, if they lose their diamonds to what they believe is a bug, because again, the game's never told them about tool quality and ore requirements. If they lose their diamonds to what they think is a bug, they're going to get really annoyed. And if they can't figure out what's happening and how to fix it, it's going to be really, really bad for them and their enjoyment, because they're going to just get pushed away from the game because they can't figure out what they're doing wrong because they've never been told. And then what happens is those people tend to go to the forums and ask, why can't I mine diamonds? And then you get your noob stereotype. Someone is trying to mine diamonds with a stone pickaxe. Oh, look at them. Look how stupid they are, when they've literally never been told that they have to do something different. And obviously, once you've mined it once with a stone pickaxe, it doesn't work, you'll start to catch on, and hopefully with enough common sense you'll at least stop mining them. But I wouldn't put it past someone to not switch to an iron pickaxe because they don't know that they need to. But if you've mined diamonds with a stone pickaxe and you don't know that you need an iron pickaxe at least, and it doesn't break, you're gonna assume either you don't mine this with a pickaxe because again you haven't been currently, all you know is pickaxe yes or pickaxe no. You don't know that it's an iron pickaxe specifically, or I guess diamond too, but you don't know you need better than a stone pickaxe to mine diamonds. So you're either going to think, I don't need a pickaxe to mine this, I need something else, or that there's a bug going on, and you're going to... Since diamonds are so rare, you're probably going to take to the forums before you try experimenting. And that results in the noob stereotype of, I tried mining diamonds with a stone pickaxe and it didn't work, help me. Now we go 2 blocks of space. I should be able to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then put 2 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then 2 blocks. Then we do the same thing for all the other sides. Alright. Now you can see this is going to start taking shape. So, that's going to be really annoying. Okay. But on the subject of mining diamonds, if it's really rare and it doesn't work the first time, you're not going to experiment. And because the more you experiment and the more you fail, the more you lose. And you don't want to lose something that's really rare because it's rare and you're probably just going to seek out the answer. And sometimes that sends people to the wiki, and that's good. That's a good place to look. But some people don't expect random games to have a wiki. Even games as popular as Minecraft, people don't really understand, or they haven't really realized that basically any game under the sun has a wiki. Like games on Roblox have their own dedicated wikis, and some of them are actually pretty good. Some of them are garbage. Some of them aren't maintained because the game isn't popular enough. But people don't really people don't really register that basically anything under the sun these days has a wiki, and it wasn't really the case back then. So it's even less of a precedent to seek out a knowledge trove on a game you just started playing. So you'll go to the forums, you'll go to the official forums because that's a good place to find information, and you'll ask there, hey, I tried mining diamonds with a stone pickaxe and it didn't work. Is this a bug? And you're not saying this is a bug and I need confirmation. You're saying, is this a bug or am I doing something wrong? You just didn't say, am I doing something wrong? And of course the answer is you're doing something wrong, but it's not your fault because you've never been told. At no point does the game ever tell you that you did something wrong. Because, well, aside from not dropping the diamonds, of course, but you know that's a given. But the game never tells you that you need an iron pickaxe. And I'm sure there are other examples. If I thought hard enough about the game mechanics, I could think about things that only make sense because you already know about them. Nothing's coming to mind right now except maybe like potion brewing, how you can make 3 potions at once by just putting 3 bottles onto the brewing stand. Some people don't know that. Like hell, I watched Forge Labs. Forge Labs doesn't know that, and he's played like literally hundreds of hours of Minecraft. Most of it's modded though. He doesn't really know much about vanilla because he only plays modded challenges. But he's never touched a brewing stand before, and it never occurred to him that all 3 slots in the brewing stand could be filled. I'm sure there's other things like the way strongholds work comes to mind right at the moment. Just everything about strongholds in general. Like, how are you ever going to understand what you're supposed to do here without being told or looking it up? And you know, there's a lot of things that could probably benefit from some in-game, maybe not even a tutorial, but documentation. Just tell players about some of the cooler parts of your game that are more important and more intricate. Because if players just think this is a silly game about putting blocks around, they're not going to be as interested. If they know that there's advanced brewing mechanics they can learn to make things more efficient, they're going to interact with the brewing system more. And if they know that there's like a boss fight hidden at the end of the game, and it is really objectively hidden, then they're going to seek that out, and that's going to help the combat enticed players. And I feel like Minecraft is missing out, or has lost, a lot of people because it doesn't do a tutorial. And that's sad. And obviously, you could argue that some people will be shooed away by a tutorial because they don't like being told things. But that's why a tutorial should always be optional in my eyes. But anyways, we've just about done with the frame, and we've also been going for an hour and a half. My god, I've been building for a lot longer than I thought, and I've been talking for most of it. Okay, here is the base of our temple. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to fill in these areas with dirt. I'm not going to do it now because I'm out of time. And then we're going to put crops here, and we're going to grow them. And basically, we're going to have this middle area to sort of consolidate everything. And that's what it's going to look like. And we did use just about 3,000 blocks on it. So yeah, I was almost on the money, because that last load was about 1.3 thousand. 1,300 rather, because 1.3 thousand is just weird. 1,300, and that was like just like the upper tiers, so it's probably close enough to 3,000 that I could say I got it right. But you know, that's gonna be all the time I have for this episode, so I will see you next week. Thank you for watching.